coming around the side of the knee and then rising straight upward. If I had to give you something visual, you can think of tracing the Nike swoosh. It's very kind of almost like a check motion. So you're going to press and pull. Now as you get into this posture here, when you pull, you're pulling with your left hand and pushing slightly with your right. There's two ways of doing this. One, it could be a split pushing in two different directions. The other one can be a pull coming in the same direction but splitting the energy at the center. So if I go 1, 2, as I come here, I'm pulling out, pushing in. The next part is rotating the hands, just using your hip to kind of coil in this position. And as my hands get to the elbows, my hands get to the ears, the elbows are slightly dropping down.
Your head shakes a lot.
And as I turn, I'm really using the waist to press down. So you don't want to press down and then turn your waist, but rather let the waist and the body move at the same time. Okay, and from that posture, when you get to the end, your weight is already on the right. So what you're going to do is use your waist to turn, issuing power to the opposite side. But you want to make sure that it comes from the waist. So as I press down, I'm going to turn to my left, leading with the shoulder, then the elbow, then the wrist. Coming across. Okay, then at the end, just let that elbow just kind of sink down. As you get to the end of that, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to coil with your hand. Let that hand come down and press. Again, pushing outward, creating that circle. Okay, and as you're pulling, and then on the final close, this one here, you're going to really get your elbows to drop. And note that when you turn the torso, that right foot is going to pivot in. And this is what you're going to do. You're going to turn the foot, and as your hands press down, you push it with your right foot at the same time into the close. So again, to do it with speed, I'm going to go to the left side. Then you round, and cross, and here's your close. Pivot right foot.
Exercise emotional.
During the single whip, you're going to try to use the elbows turning the torso, but be sure that when you're turning, using the elbows coming in, that you're not going past the shoulders. One of the things to think about is that the four corners have to be always connected. Four corners are represented by the shoulders and the hips. Anytime your hips turn, you want to make sure that your shoulders are aligned with the hips. The moment your shoulders go past the hips, then there's a disconnection with the energy. In this case, when you're doing your turn, the inward elbows, you want to make sure that the elbow doesn't go past by pushing too far back. This will put a lot of pressure on your knees, and what you don't want is actually to turn and drop the knee in. You want to maintain that the structure of the stance in Jiangzhen, okay, or Wuji, is keeping those feet nice and firmly planted, which will allow you to turn using power from the waist. So as I'm doing this motion, I'm really trying to generate the power so it's coming from the waist as I turn my arm. So as I come in, I'm going to turn, turn, turn,